Hello everybody, how is everybody doing? I hope you all are having an awesome day. I just want to come on for a quick moment and just give you an encouragement for your day. It's been a hot day, but it's been a productive day thus far. I just wanted to let somebody know out there that when the heat gets on you and the heats get high, do not quit, okay? Do not quit on yourself. Regardless if you have to stop and take a break, do not quit on yourself. I was reminded of something when I was walking. I got up this morning, and usually I only do 3 times in my life I've done a noonday walk. Only 3 times in my life. This would be the 3rd time in my life that I've ever done a noonday walk in the heightened time with the sun is out. Noonday sun is so hot, it's ridiculous, guys. Okay, like I would rather go to the gym. All right. So instead of walking the community, I decided to go ahead and walk, do my regular 2.5-3 mile walk. So I got up and I said, you know what, I'm gonna do this. It was just on the brink of noon. I started getting ready, and as soon as I hit the door to go walk, it was noon. And so I said, okay, let me go take this walk. I went to go take the walk, and I'm walking. I was doing really good. I was literally halfway through my walk in an hour. Like, it was like 12:50 something, and I was already almost done on my 2.5-3 mile walk. And so I got around the bank of the walk, and I started feeling nauseous. You know, every now and again I had to stop. I had to, stop and just, get, because the sun, anybody know, in Florida heat is serious, and noonday heat, it's not regular heat. Okay, like early morning and late evening does not compare to noonday heat. Okay, it's something about that noonday heat. When the clock strikes 12, it is hot. Okay, and so I was walking, and then I got to the point where I got to the last 1.5 miles or so, I'll say. And so I started, it was so hot. So I told myself, okay, you're going to stop after each tree, and you get a little ways, you're going to stop and take a break. And I started to do that. Now, we all know when you exercise, when it comes to the whole dynamics of exercising and stuff, when you exercise and you stop because your heart is going fast, when you stop, it's like you put your heart into a shock, because it's almost like you going fast and then now you stop, so now it stopped and it has to slow down. So it's not like a gradual stop. It was like a hard stop. So I kept doing it, and I couldn't stop doing it because it was like the sun was so hot. And so by me doing that, of course, having low iron, low blood, low everything, everybody know my story, I started getting even more nauseated. I started to get super sick. I tried to put my hands over my head and try to, catch my breath. And so I'm telling myself, Tora, you're almost there. You're almost there. Don't quit on yourself. You're almost there. And I'm, mapping out what I'm going to do. I'm like, okay, when I get to a certain part, I'm just going to stop, like, every now and again when I get to a certain tree, and I'm looking at it, okay, if I can just get to that point, because close to almost finishing the walk, there's a lot of trees that's overlapping, so I already knew I was going to be okay once I can get there. But I was still a long ways from that spot. And so I'm like, oh my gosh. So I started feeling really, really, really sick. And I'm like, oh my God, Tora, like, you don't do noonday walks. Like, when it comes early morning and late evenings when the sun is low, I can do it all day. But that noonday heat was so hot, and even though the wind was blowing, you know, all of that was there, but then I would get so sick. So I end up stopping, and I almost felt like I wanted to pass out. I felt like my body couldn't take no more, and I just, put my hand out and stood up against a tree trying to catch my breath. And I'm like, oh my God, like I feel like I literally was going to pass out. And so I just started feeling like I had to throw up, like it's just getting this bad sick feeling, of course, because I had to keep going and stopping because of the heat. So I sat down and I said, you know what, I'm just not going to do it no more. And I called my sister and I said, sis, come pick me up. I can't do it. I can't. So she came and got me. And before she came and got me, I was sitting there and I was just talking to the Lord. And I was like, God, I failed. I couldn't do it no more. And I'm like, Lord, I really wanted to do this. I wanted to succeed. I didn't want to give up. I wanted to do it. And then he spoke to me. And I was like, really? And he was telling me, he was like, no, you did not fail. You did not fail. Because you got up and you went. You didn't say that it was too hot. You got up and you went. But sometimes when the heat comes up on you, and I want you to remember this. This was a message I got that I got from my walk today, where God was talking to me and told me. Sometimes when the heat is high, and at that moment when it's really beaming on you, you have to think to yourself. This is why being processed and conditioning is important, right? And this is why it's important for you to eat healthy, to take your vitamins. My hand is shaking, y'all. My hand is literally shaking. Take your vitamins, drink a lot of water, get yourself prepared. It's so important. Process is so important. It's important that you condition yourself for moments like these in life. I hope somebody got that. It's important because, again, you may have the zeal. Yes, you may have the zeal to go after something and do something because it's in your heart to do. It's in your heart to do. You're passionate about doing it, and you feel so much to you gotta do it and you're ready to do it. But that's why you gotta strategize and you gotta condition yourself for what you're going to do. That's important. Conditioning is just as important as passion. Okay? Conditioning, meaning the process is just as important as the passion. Okay? Let me say it again. Process is just as important as your passion. Okay? Because in that moment, instead of, for a split moment, I almost felt defeated. But in that quick moment, God used it as a life lesson. Let me tell you, somebody that's out there, you taking a moment to breathe so you can hear God's voice for your next step for your life is okay. It's okay. Okay, and something I'm going to be talking about in one of my other videos about life as a teacher. I was a teacher. I taught, I was in the school system for 7 years, and I took this year off as a break to refocus and channeling on my purpose, because a lot of times we jump into things and we do things because we feel like, okay, this is what I want to do. This is going to make me look good. This is going to make my image look good. And number one, yes, I'm getting ready to go back to school for my master's, but I wanted to make sure I did not want to do something that I know that's not in my heart to do. I did not want to do something. Everybody, I don't want to waste time and money. That's another thing. You don't want to waste time and money on trying to pursue something only just to look good or just to say you're somebody. You know, you don't have time to waste. In this day and age where we live now, you don't have time to waste. And so what I would say, if you got to take a moment and a break to sit down, because again, it's not in your own effort. And that's another thing that he told me this today, that it's not in your own effort. It's not in your own might, your own power that you're going to get through this. It's through me giving you the strategies and giving you the tools and putting you through that processing stage of being conditioned, so you can, when the times get heated and you're in these moments where it's hot and you feel like you about to pass out, but because you've been conditioned and you went through the process, you're able to handle it. So I used that moment. I could have used it in my mind to say, oh man, I got defeated, I failed, I end up stopping, now all of a sudden the sun is going down a little bit. I could have kept going. But no, God used that as a teaching moment to tell me that it's okay when you have to stop, because it's not going to take your might. The Bible says not by your might, not by your power, but by his spirit, saith the Lord. It's by his guidance, it's by his strength, and by his love and his strategies. It's by his will and his word that we're going to make it through. So it's okay when you have moments where you feel like you have to stop and you got to say, God, strengthen me. God, guide me. God, push me. God, show me. God, condition me. Process me. Okay? It's okay. It's okay. And so I just wanted to stop by for a moment to tell somebody out there, yes, I used that experience this morning as a life lesson to tell me that I have to get conditioned. You have to get conditioned, and you have to be processed for where you're going. Because at the end of the day, the heat is not going to stop coming. It's not going to stop. It's going to get hotter and hotter and hotter. You're going to have those moments when the wind will blow. You're going to have those moments where you're able to rest. But the heat is not going to stop. And when it gets hotter and when it's at its most pivotal moment, when that heat is pounding on you because of everything that God has placed in you, and God has prepared you and equipped you and conditioned you and processed you, then when those heated moments come and you feel like you want to quit, you won't quit, because you will remember the place that you've been before, and you will remind yourself that you were conditioned for this. You were conditioned to conquer. That's the word by itself. You was conditioned to conquer. And we are being processed to go after our dream. Okay? Remember, the process is just as important as your passion, because we are being conditioned to conquer. And I just want to tell everybody out there, have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. I know I will. So I just wanted to get on here and give you that quick message. I hope this blessed somebody, and I hope I'm able to uplift somebody's spirit on this beautiful Saturday morning. Don't get discouraged. Don't get down. Yes, it may look crazy, but when it look crazy, that is a good time for God to show up and show out. So our hearts is broken over certain things, loss and death and all of these other things. But then with all of that, even with hearing with Black Panther, it gave me an extra push to say, you know what, I have to go after my dream. I have to go after my passion, because in this world, what message, what legacy are you going to leave here if you're not conditioned? If you're not processed? If you're not able to take the heat, right? If you're not able to take the heat, and you're not able to be processed and be conditioned to get conditioning to conquer and go through the process and not let your passion and your zeal to drive you, but allow the process, then what legacy are we leaving? You know, what legacy are you leaving? And so I'm even inspired even the more, not expired, inspired, devil is a liar, even the more to go after what's going to be effective, efficient, strategically successful, and legendary for the next generation. It's not about you anymore. It's not about me anymore, because I'm halfway through my life and I'm just getting started. It's just beginning. That this is the time where, and you know, people talk about 2020, throw it away, you know, all these loss, all these stuff. No, you can throw your 2020 away. I'm not throwing my 2020 away. I'm keeping my 2020. You know why? Because in the hard place is where God shows us our greatest strength, our greatest passions, our greatest gifts, our greatest talents. In the struggle, that's when everything that's on the inside of us that's great comes out. We never know how great we are until we go through the hard and tough places. So I'm not throwing my 2020 away. You can throw your 2020 away. I'm keeping my 2020. Because you know what 2020 taught me? 2020 taught me that you don't plan your own steps, but you allow God to plan your steps. 2020 taught me that I can't go off my emotions anymore. 2020 taught me that I can't just be living to exist anymore. 2020 told me that no, it's not about doing work and not leaving an impact. Yeah, I'm not just caught up on doing works anymore. Because if my works don't bring an impact, what am I doing? What am I doing? So I don't care if it's baking a cake. I don't care if it's sewing a pants. I don't care if it's visiting the homeless. I don't care if it's giving $1 to the homeless. I don't care if it's you call in to check up on somebody who God has laid on your heart. I don't care if you're in prayer. I don't care if you are whatever it is that God told you to do. Everything that God does, He does it well. He does it well. And your experience is not insignificant to where you're going. Your experience is not insignificant, and it's not dismissive for where you're going, but it's propelling you to where you are going. I don't know why I just have this all of a sudden, but in this lesson today, when God told me that no, you are not a failure. You are not a failure, because there are those who sometimes so discouraged that they won't even put the next foot in front of them to take the step to even move, to even become mobile. Okay, because when you're going through a hard places have a tendency to immobilize us. Yeah, hard places have a tendency to immobilize you, to cause you to stop. But what I will tell you today is, when the sun comes on and the heat is on and everything is on your back, listen, 2020 taught me that I didn't have it all together. It taught me that your title don't save you from hurt. Your position don't save you from heartache. Your image doesn't save you from pain. Your status doesn't save you from suffering. Yeah, your economical, financial, social, emotional status, mental, none of that save you. Your educational status, none of that save you from being processed. And I'm so grateful that I'm still here today to have those lessons. So I'm keeping my 2020. I'm keeping my 2020. Yeah, the heat is on. The fire is hot. But in 2020, even though there's a lot of heartbreak, even though there's a lot of pain, even though there's a lot of loss, even though there's a lot of suffering, At the same time, there is a lot of purpose going on. There's a lot of passion going on. There's a lot of gifts and talents being awakened. There's a lot of change happening. There's a lot of self-awareness is going on. There's a lot of new inventions and witty ideas that's coming forth. And all of the bad stuff, even in all of that, there's a lot of peace that's still in the midst. There's a lot of love that's still in the midst, because it's drawing us together even the more to look at others more than ourselves. It's even though in the midst of all the inequality, there is still unity. Yeah, in the midst of the rocky places, trees are still growing out of the cement, y'all. Trees are still growing out of the cement. Yes. Trees are still growing out of the rocky places. Why? Because there is soil there. There is soil there. Yes. And God will allow that situation, allow you to grow even in that hard spot. He's going to allow you to grow, because in the end, that rock is going to have to move, because those roots are going to get stronger. And that soil that is so rich is going to bring forth life and growth and productivity. So yes, I just came on here to tell somebody very quickly that yes, in the hard place, it's hard, it's hot. It's hot. Yeah, it's hot. Listen, it's motivation to not go to hell, y'all. I ain't trying to go there. But it's hot and it's heated. But we're not going to give up. All we need is a little bit of conditioning. All we need is to continue the process. All right? Don't let the passion die. Don't let the passion die. Don't let it die. But remember, the process is just as important as the passion, because we are being conditioned to conquer. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy your day. I love you. Until we meet again, this is MT's Reality TV. Don't forget to join me and follow me on Sit, Seek, Soak, and Subscribe on my YouTube page. And again, I will be sharing every day, or every other day, a quick clip to keep you encouraged, to keep you uplifted, to keep you motivation. Even in this pandemic, even in this 2020, we still have 2020 vision. The vision says that God is real. The vision said God is moving. And the vision said that God is still working. Have a wonderful day. Bye.